Mubadala, Pazza Inter Mubadala. Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. You know what we're here for. Tomorrow, 7:45 p.m. kickoff UK time for Inter versus Fiorentina, or Fiorentina versus Inter, I should say, at the Artemio Franchi. But as you saw in that intro, couldn't ignore it. It's all over the news at the moment, thanks to the Financial Times, putting out the article about Inter being, in financial trouble. Inter are on sale, guys. There's no way around it. Remember a few weeks ago when Suning, Steven Zhang came out with a statement that, oh, don't worry, we're not looking to sell. And then literally a few days later, it was pretty much confirmed. BC Partners, a UK investment firm, are seriously in talks with Inter to buy out Inter. And now there's rumors that those talks have stalled a little bit, and there's other investment funds looking to buy Inter, and one of them is a United Arab Emirates fund called Mubadala Group. And they are closely linked with the Man City owners as well. And obviously, most of the Inter fans are probably hoping for that fund to be, to be the winner of the ones that take Inter home. Obviously, that Arab oil money.
Oh, I love this song. You know this song? Oh, yeah. We getting Arab money. Hey, you know that?
And then there's a few other funds. There's a Swedish one. There's another British one, I believe. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't want to talk about it too much because I just prefer talking about football things, tactical stuff, those kind of things. I don't really like focusing too much on the business side of things, even though I personally find it interesting. But for my channel, I prefer just talking about football. So let's get into the match for tomorrow. Another very important match, man. There's no way around it. Since Inter beat Juventus in the league a couple of weeks back, Juve, we've like awoken a beast from their sleep. Juve was kind of struggling, and since then, they're looking good now. Obviously, they beat us in the Coppa Italia as well, even though they didn't look too that impressive. But as I've been saying, for me, they're still the favourites for the Scudetto. AC Milan, they're still, keeping up their pace, even though their performances haven't been as good recently. Even against Bologna, I watched the match. Donnarumma, saving their ass. Donnarumma pretty much up there for goalkeeper of the year for the season in the Serie A for sure. 2 or 3 great 1v1 saves, which we can't say the same for our keeper Handanovic. Donnarumma is making the difference for AC Milan at the moment. He's reminding me of the Jose Mourinho Man United team that finished second in the Premier League. That was, Jose said that was his biggest achievement of his life, and that literally, David De Gea that season was unbelievable. He was the best keeper in the world that season, and Donnarumma was putting up similar numbers here, most clean sheets this season in Serie A, and some of the saves he's making are absolutely world class. He's improved in a lot of things. So if you want to be a Scudetto winner, you need some players like that are outperforming at a world-class level. And hopefully, man, Radu looks like he's never going to get a chance. So we need Handanovic, man. We need Handanovic to step up to the plate. We can't have these mistakes anymore. We can't have these lapses of concentration, this lack of communication, as we saw with that Bastoni situation against Juventus, where we gifted goal to Ronaldo. No more gifts. In terms of this match, predicted lineups are out from Sky Sport Italy, and usually, as you've probably seen over the season now, they are pretty accurate most of the time. And surprisingly, no Christian Eriksen. I was expecting Christian Eriksen to get more playing time now, honestly, because we saw Brozovic, had a bit of a shocker against Juve. Eriksen played well against Benevento. Scored that goal against AC Milan. We thought we see him playing, his body language is different. So I was hoping, or more than hoping, that, we would take advantage of this positive period for Eriksen. And from what I'm hearing, Conte is really appreciating Eriksen's efforts in training over the last few months, even though he's not been his first choice, hardly even part of the squad. He stays after training to do free kicks sometimes up to half an hour after training to work on his free kicks and other things. And on the other hand, apparently Stefano Sensi has not been impressing Conte, which explains his lack of minutes recently. Since that Fiorentina Coppa Italia match where he came up to Conte and said he didn't want to play because he felt some pain in his calf, and then the next day came up in the in the test that there was nothing actually wrong with his calf. He was just him not feeling up to it, kind of, is probably scared of getting injured again. and it seems like from what I read, Conte's asked, with the whole team, with the backroom staff, they've created this personal training program for Sensi, which includes a little bit of boosting his muscular work after the training. So after the training that everyone does, he's got some personalized training that apparently he has not been too keen to do. So this has kind of broke the relationship between Sensi and Conte, which before Conte was kind of hopeful to have him back, but now Conte is one of those guys you have to be doing extra things for him, and that's the type of man he is. And it looks like Sensi might be even below Eriksen in the team rankings now. We saw Eriksen was definitely bottom of the midfield rankings before, but now he seems to be moving up, whereas Sensi seems to be moving down, and we'll see where Matias Vecino comes into play in all of this now that he's coming back. In terms of squad news, look at this. Finally, we have 0 injuries. I don't think I've seen that picture there for a long time. I don't want to jinx it. I'm not going to go into it because every time I start talking about having an empty infirmary, something happens. So I'm not going to talk about it, but it's nice to have no more injuries. D'Ambrosio looks to be back in full training as well, which is good. I'm not sure he's ready to start yet, but he'll start to get minutes in the next coming weeks, which is really good. Obviously, we've got the derby coming up as well. Lineup wise, as we said, Sky Sports said this is the lineup that's been predicted, and looks like pretty much our strongest lineup. As I said, surprise, no Eriksen. Perisic looks like he'll be starting ahead of Ashley Young, which I'm happy about. I've been on this little Perisic train. Not that I keep saying, I'm not saying that he's so much better than Young. I'm just saying that he's just slightly better, and I think that he deserves to be starting over Young. And I think from what I've read as well, this Juve match was the one that also has put some doubt into Conte's mind about Young. Finally, we've seen that, as with Vidal against Crotone, was that match that kind of, sent a little message. He sent that message to Vidal to get his axe straight after that. It seems like, from what I read, that Conte is a little bit fed up of Ashley Young's mistakes, even though due to his experience here, we expect better. And also Sanchez as well. Alexis Sanchez got a little bit of a criticism publicly in the media after the match. He said, his numbers are pretty bad for a striker, which is true, which is what we've been saying. He needs to improve. It's great, all this creation he does, all these key passes and dribbles he manages to do, but he plays as a second striker and he needs to get his numbers up. Only 2 goals this season from Sanchez, so he has to improve on that. So hopefully he responds well to that criticism. And Ashley Young in the coming weeks, hopefully he gets his head act together, because he's a decent player, but he's performing below a decent level now. So I'm happy that Perisic comes in. And I was speaking about Perisic's dribbling statistics the other day, and I didn't have the numbers to back it up. And here I have the stats from Y-Scout, and you can see he has a high number of dribbles, crosses attempted. I know a lot of those don't end up anywhere, but it's just the fact that he's creating those chances, creating those moments. And I've seen so many times that he's done some great crosses, but the players can't quite get there. No one makes that run to the near post where he's got a great ball. And in terms of dribble completion percentage, he's got the highest in the team. So a lot of people say, he does that step over, but he doesn't beat anyone. He doesn't, to beat a guy technically or statistically, you don't have to be, going around him and disgracing him, nutmegging him. It's just that even that half a yard that he gets to get the cross in, he's beat the guy because he got that half a yard. Hoping to his contribution increase, because 2 assists is really not enough. It's the same as Ashley Young. Hakimi and Lukaku obviously returning, the 2 main boys that were missing from the last match, so great to see that. And the back line looks like it's the same as always. I was hoping for some little bit of rotation, but it looks like we're going all in for Serie A, and the Coppa Italia is going on a little bit of a back burner. Let's see what happens on Tuesday. But I'm happy about that, full focus on Serie A now that, we got that loss against Juve. We'll see if we can get the result back. In terms of Fiorentina, as we've been saying, decent team on paper, but they have not been performing properly this season. They've been, well below par, and they're missing 2 very, very important players, if not their most important players. Milenkovic, who's pretty much the leader of their defense, and, a lot of people, including me, would have him as the Skriniar replacement if Skriniar was ever to leave. So he's going to be a massive miss for them, in terms of aerial threat, aerial defensive ability, and in general, just the leader at the back. And obviously Castrovilli, great, neat and tidy player with great ball retention skills, great dribbling ability, player that I really like. But and he also performs really well against Inter every time he plays. In the first 4-3 match, he played really well. In the Coppa Italia match, he played really well. So he's going to be a really big miss. So it means Fiorentina are going to have to go for a more physical midfield. Pulgar, Amrabat, Bonaventura is a bit less technical, more physical. And obviously we have to watch out for Ribery, who was like man of the match against Inter in that first match in the 4-3 match. And obviously Vlahovic has scored against Inter in the past as well. And hopefully Biraghi doesn't score the goal that every ex-Inter player always scores against us. I don't need a Biraghi screamer in my life. The Artemio Franchi has never been an easy place to go for Inter over the years, especially recently. We've struggled to win out there, so it's not going to be as easy as I might think. But I'm confident that the guys can get this W. I am going for a 3-1 victory. Lukaku returning to the lineup, and Sanchez or Martinez, whoever is starting up front. I'm confident in one of them getting a goal. Bouncing back, Sanchez bouncing back from the Conte criticism. So I'm going for a 3-1 win. Let me know in your opinions what the score will be in the comments below. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the whole ownership situation. What do you make of it all? And I'll see you for the post-match of Inter Fiorentina. And as always, Forza Inter.